Alix Kendall joins us with more
Here I am.
details. Good morning, Alix.
Good morning. All right, let's talk about this. The Right Track program, that's the name of it, helps young people. Now, last year, over 600 teenagers got jobs through the Right Track program. The deadline to apply for this summer, by the way, is on Sundays. So get on it if you want to be involved. We've added more information on fox9.com.
Great opportunity.
Yeah,
cool.
For the kids. Thank you, Alix. Appreciate it. So, all
Or maybe she caught a ride.
she's probably got a ride.
I have a feeling she might have gotten a little help.
Exactly.
Speaking of Alix, she's back looking ahead at what's coming up here at the 6 o'clock hour.
Just putting the paw out, by the side of the road. All right, here's what's coming up at 6. Here's coming up at 6.
Lots of fun. Alix, thanks so much. And stay with us right here because Keith is also coming back. He has that forecast for you.
Here in Fox 9. Hope your morning's going well. I'm Alix Kendall.
I'm Tom Butler. Great to have you along on this Thursday, the gateway to the weekend. The time now is 6 o'clock. We'll catch you up on a big story, some disturbing allegations this morning against a daycare center in Bloomington.
The Rainbow Montessori is under investigation with staff accused of physically abusing kids. Don Stevens joins us.
2 now. We are just 5 days away from one of the biggest election days of the year, Super Tuesday.
Minnesota's DFL and Republican leaders are expecting a strong turnout for next week's caucus.
For women's basketball team is celebrating an incredible win this morning after a thrilling night at the barn.
Emotions were running.
Hopefully things are running smoothly on the roads this morning. Let's check in with Shane Wells for the latest on that. Good morning.
6:10 right now. In wake of the FBI Apple phone battle, the tech giant announces plans to make a better hack-proof phone.
Plus, finally, something.
31 on the button. Good morning and welcome to Fox 9 in the morning. I'm Alix Kendall.
I'm Tom Butler. Thanks for waking up with us on this Thursday morning. The time now is 6:31. President Obama is trying to pressure Republicans to consider a Supreme Court nomination, but the standoff over the empty seat on the high court could become a full-scale battle in Washington.
Doug Luzader has.
Well, it's been a historic year for women in the military, and now another first. The Minnesota National Guard will promote its first female general later today.
Kelly O'Connell joins us with more on this story. Tell us about it, Kelly.
Good morning. Yeah, this is a really big deal.
Well, it won't be long before teenagers start thinking about finding work for summer, and St. Paul Jobs Program is being recognized as a model for the rest of the country.
It's 6:36 now. Excitement is building for pro soccer in St. Paul as the Minnesota United unveil the designs for their future home.
Fancy new digs. Looks like an oyster. Just a little bit. Looks like an oyster.
Team, they're the pearls.
There you go. There you go. Hopefully we have some pearls of wisdom to get from point A to point. Thank you.
Well, Nike is giving back in a pretty big way. Find out exactly how much the CEO is dishing out for some standard scholarships.
The Stanford, yeah. Stay right there. Fox 9 is coming right back at 6:41.
Scholarship.
Man, oh man, no kidding. That'll help a lot of people over a long time. Time now is 6:46. Do not come unless you have your party pants on. Disney on Ice is at Target Center, and it's called Let's Celebrate.
M.A. Roscoe joins us live. That's too bad. I wanted to see more of that. But, once in a while, technology.
It's not our friend.
It's not our friend. It just didn't. We'll figure out what the problem is and fix that.
I haven't put on my party pants.
I know.
They're on. They're ready to go. We are going to be partying this Saturday. If you want the warmer weather, you've been demanding it, you've been missing it, we're going to get it.
It sounds great. Really. It is 6:52 right now.
Grammy Award winner Adele dominates the Brit Awards last night, taking home 4 trophies.
The chart-topping singer got a little bit choked up when she accepted one of the night's big awards. Check it out.
Yeah, what a great voice she has.
Oh, just to hear her choke up.
Means a lot. Time now is 6:53. Officers save people's lives all the time, of course, but some deputies in Florida use their skills on something a little different.
Yeah, I did a story of a whale getting caught in some fishing lines just this week.
Glad to see we can.
A lot of debris out there.
There's a lot of stuff in the ocean, that's for sure.
Well, all too often we hear about people finding disturbing things in their food.
But how about this? You bite into something that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or at least hundreds of dollars.
At one time you bite
have a
into
conversation
something,
piece, too.
yeah, and you don't mind it quite as much when you find out
That's
that
true.
it's worth something.
Box staple, I've done that once. That wasn't so fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not good.
6:55. Here's a recap now. The big stories we're following for you on this. But locked right there on the 9. We're coming back with our 7 o'clock hour, all local, all live, all morning long.
And thanks for waking up with us here on Fox 9. I'm Alix Kendall.
I'm Tom Butler. Great to have you along on this Thursday morning. We'll catch you up on the news. Happening today, another major breakthrough for women in the military.
Today, the Minnesota National Guard will promote its first female general. Dawn Stevens joins us now with more on this story. Tell us more about her, Dawn.
Good morning. Yes, we love hearing stories like this so we can...
7:02 now. Disturbing allegations this morning against a daycare center in Bloomington.
The Rainbow Montessori is under investigation with staff members accused of physically abusing kids. Kelly O'Connell. It is 7:04 now. We are just now 5 days away from one of the biggest election days of the year. We're talking about Super Tuesday.
And Minnesota's DFL and Republican leaders are expecting a strong turnout for next week's caucuses. 7:07, the Gopher women's basketball team is celebrating this morning an incredible win after a thrilling night at the barn.
7:08 now. Here is a good reminder to pay attention to those thin ice signs.
You look at where the sign is posted and you can see
Drowned.
open water near it.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. People do this.
When you...
It is 7:11 right now. A popular beef jerky brand is setting up a restaurant and a bar right here in the Twin Cities.
Messing with Sasquatch, little hint. Plus, we're getting...
It is just about 7:18 now. Excitement is building for pro soccer in St. Paul as the Minnesota United unveil the designs for their future home. Right behind me here. 7:18 now. We are thinking about the Saturday that Keith has been talking about on the weather map, and it looks beautiful, warm. But you know, we got to get there. And so, what does that mean for today's weather? The forecast and clouds and sun and
Well, good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us here on Fox 9. I'm Tom Butler.
And I'm Alix Kendall. I hope your morning is getting off to a good start. 7:31 now. Let's jump into the politics of the day. President Obama is trying to pressure Republicans to consider a Supreme Court nomination, but the standoff over the empty seat on the high court could become a full-scale battle in Washington.
It's shaping up to be that. Douglas. Well, shifting gears now, just about 7:34. You don't want to come unless you have your party pants on. Disney on Ice is at the Target Center with its Let's Celebrate.
M.A. Roscoe joins us live. She's here with M.A. and Ice, talking about Disney on Ice.
Yes. And tomorrow, M.A. will take us live to the Home and Garden Show. That's at the Minneapolis Convention Center.
All right, 7:37. Now, Shane Wells is looking at the roads and telling us if there are any...
Keith.
Well, it is no secret that we're coffee lovers here on the show at Fox 9, but some of those special drinks may have a little more sugar than you actually know.
Plus, they're called the salt. And we're glad you are on this Thursday morning. It's 7:44. When it comes to being healthy, you get out what you put in. We know that, right?
That's right. And here with more on what foods are helping and which ones are doing some harm is the Fox Medical Team's Dina Centopati joining us live from... Where are you live from?
Detroit, of course.
Detroit.
Of course.
I forgot.
From a lot of
The
snow.
Motor City.
The land of snow.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Dina, let's start out
Morning,
with
guys.
good morning. Okay, salt overload. That's what you're focusing on today. It's not always the salt shaker or maybe French fries to blame. So where do we have to cut back when it comes to salt and those foods that maybe we eat every day?
Okay, Debbie
I know,
Downer,
because that's supposed to be our go-to healthy meal.
Right?
Let's talk about coffee now. And how we're getting maybe too many calories. I know, here we are. But we need, information is power and knowledge is power. So you get sometimes too many calories in some of those cups of coffee, different types of coffee.
And
Thanks, Dina.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Dina Downer.
Okay. We still love her, though.
We do. But
Thanks,
you're right.
Dina.
Take the information with it and do with it what you will. But it's something, every once in a while, you need to indulge, right? Every once in a while.
Right. Absolutely. But I had no idea. Wow. Chai tea. Okay. Were you paying attention, Keith? Any
Salt.
of those, like the salt?
Eating or chewing gum with xylitol. It helps you.
After coffee. I usually try to, put it away before.
That's all right.
Before I'm here, before you.
You get to chomping.
Chewing.
I'll welcome the folk. Nice to have you with us.
Hey,
on the
Keith,
Fox
what's going on?
Look, you see what this is?
Right.
Keith.
Put the gum down.
Yeah. 8:01 now. It has been a historic year for women in the military, and now another first. The Minnesota National Guard will promote its first female general later today.
Kelly O'Connell joins us now with more on the story. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. This lady is so humble, too. She's just...
It It's 8:02 right now. New this morning, the White House is considering Nevada's Republican governor as a potential candidate for the Supreme Court.
Governor Brian Sandoval would replace Justice Antonin Scalia, who died of health problems earlier this month. Sandoval, well, we're just a few days away, in fact, 5 in total, from one of the biggest election days of the year, Super Tuesday.
Minnesota's DFL and Republican leaders are expecting a strong turnout for next week's caucuses.
Some disturbing allegations this morning against a daycare center in Bloomington.
The Rainbow Montessori is under investigation with staff members accused of physically abusing children. Don Stevens to hear that news. It's 8:07 right now. Let's talk about the warm-up happening outside. Here's a good reminder to pay attention to those thin ice signs.
They're there for a reason.
It is 8:08 right now. Shane Wells is looking at traffic, as she always does, trying to help you.
Keith.
It's 8:11 right now. Still ahead, the threatening message ISIS has for the leaders of 2 social media giants, Facebook and Twitter.
And look at this Thursday, but here comes the heat on Saturday. Well, there's another layer in the debate between Apple and the federal government after the tech giant says it won't unlock a suspected terrorist's iPhone.
Well, now Apple is working on a new phone that would be virtually hack-free. Well, excitement is building for pro soccer in St. Paul as the Minnesota United unveiled the designs for their future home.
And it's chameleon-like, the $150 million stadium.
All right, 8:19. We do weather on the 9s. I don't know if you know about that.
Is that a new thing? Are we just trying that out, Keith? Is that something?
Just an
I
experiment.
didn't do it. Thanks, Keith. 8:30. The Gopher women's basketball team is celebrating this morning an incredible win after a thrilling night at the barn.
Emotions, as you
Wish them all the best.
Yeah.
Well, it won't be long before teenagers start thinking about finding work for the summer.
It won't be here before you know it. The St. Paul Jobs Program is being recognized as a model for the rest of the country.
What a gift that is.
Yeah, big one.
Well, all too often we hear about people finding disturbing things in their food, whatever it might be.
Usually when we bring these stories too, there's a big ick factor. But what about biting into something that could be worth hundreds of dollars? There's a woman.
Sure. And then it's a conversation piece, too.
It is.
Oh, I like your pearl necklace. I've got a story behind that. There you go.
Well, from princesses to heroes, America's favorite Disney stars are twirling, and Emmy Roscoe will show us what to expect from Disney on Ice.
And it might be too...
Going to hit some, 50s?
50s on Saturday.
50s on
It's
Saturday.
sunny.
Imagine that.
Can't wait.
We'll be hitting March soon. Yep. All right, well, don't come unless you have your party pants on. Do you have your party pants on?
Always,
All right.
Alex. Always.
Disney on Ice is at the Target Center with Let's Celebrate.
Emmy Roscoe joins us with a preview of the show that features lots of your favorite characters. Yeah, and always got the local connections, it seems, when
That's
we have
nice.
these shows coming down.
It's a good connection there.
Tomorrow, Emmy will take us live to the Home and Garden Show at the Minneapolis Convention Center. That'll be our Friday.
It's 8:41 now. Coming up, there is another invasive fish species that shows up in Minnesota. We've got details on where they're finding this fish.
First, though, we're going to check in with Dale Kay this morning, trying to find spring. Dale.
Good morning. Welcome to Fox 9 Buzz. I'm Alix Kendall.
I'm Kelly O'Connell.
Keith Marler Thursday. Bum, 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 bum.
Dun, 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 dun.
Gateway to the weekend.
And a good weekend it's
It
going
fell a
to
little flat, didn't it?
That's all right. Doesn't matter because,
be. Doesn't matter.
as Kelly said, it's going to be a shorts,
Oh, boy.
crop top,
Oh,
Just for you.
and the
you
neck.
know,
Maybe
you
Tom.
know we
You and
will
Tom.
see someone will be out in Minnesota in a crop top.
Oh, well, yeah. That'd
And
be
if you
easy.
see anybody,
Convertible.
please let us
Yes,
know.
take a picture.
Take a picture
Oh,
and
that'd
send
be
it to
fun,
us.
yeah, that would
You
be fun.
know
love to
it's
see it.
gonna, people are going to be out in shorts, top
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, definitely. The
We have different sensibilities up
Oh, yeah,
here.
totally.
People in the South are like, are you crazy?
50 is cold.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we
50s
physically
is like,
change,
you know,
and so that
summertime
those
for
50s
us.
get warm. It's okay.
It's
We can do that.
okay.
I'm excited about it.
It's straight up 9 o'clock now. This has been a historic year in military, and now another first. The Minnesota National Guard will promote its first female general. That will be later today. Dawn Stevens is here, and she has the story. Morning, Dawn.
Good morning. Yeah, this is very exciting. So we can now call this lady Brigadier General. And it was kind of fun to hear her talk about the fact that men and women, both new
Unusual.
general.
It will be making the news.
Right. I
So-
love that, you know, because sometimes it's the top, but I love that she's saying, you know, both, everybody was like, all right, she's our lady. She's the one
needed
to go.
both
Yes.
for their support to
I
get
like
to where
that.
she is.
Cool.
Very cool.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dawn.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Almost.
35 points, even, and she didn't even make the big, the big game-winning one, but 35 points in a game is still,
And she didn't even
obviously, to Bantam. And she said, I had my chance. I wanted to get in, and I love it. We had a soundbite from her earlier. And she said, I just got angry. I just wanted the ball, and it worked. So good for her.
This is anger put in the appropriate place.
Exactly. Yes.
For a positive outcome.
It all worked out. How about this? A supermodel, TV host, and all. I've been very open with this whole process. They've been going through this in vitro. He was surprised by such the
What are the
pushback
people's
on
problems? What's all the people's, they're all, all up in arms.
that you shouldn't make the call.
Right.
You know,
What the gender of your child.
I mean, there might be wives' tales, they might not be, but I mean, for, generations, there have been, whether or not it works or not, it's certainly never a guarantee, but I don't see it would be any different.
I think that she also was saying, look, you're obviously looking for outrage. And sure, some people might be upset that she chose the sex of her child. But as you pointed out, and that she said, look, this is nothing new. This has been happening as long as there have been petri dishes and this process has been going on. Maybe people haven't talked about it like she has now on social media, and now it's for some people, maybe this is new information. And they're just still
Maybe some people feel it's the slippery slope into where we make custom-designed children. But at the same token, aren't we doing that when we pick our mate? When we pick our partner and we fall in love,
Ooh, good. He has
biological need to create a human better than ourselves in some capacity, and we find the traits that we want desirable.
Right, and we're reading out genetic mutation. It's not surprising. I think that this is the way that more people are looking to IVF and other ways to have babies. They need assistance in this area. That it makes sense if they get given a choice. Here's your petri dish. What do you want?
Right. Yeah. Well, and
people will be upset about that.
IVF. Look, I'm just talking about it because it's happening with my life, and this is what we did. Get over it.
Get over it. That was a hashtag. Get over it was essentially what she said. All right, it's at 9:07 right now. It will be implemented, but this is going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. This is a big conversation that both sides. The federal government has its side. Cook is going ahead. He's just going head on, tackling this, and we'll see what comes of it. We don't know yet the outcome.
It's going to be a long process.
Yeah.
It's just getting started.
And all during that time period, they still won't know what's on that phone.
I still want them to figure out a way that I can prevent dropping my phone.
Touch it.
Those little clips that
don't touch
you give kids for the mittens so they stay to their clip to their jacket. That's where you need one of those.
It's always like, whoop, it always falls out of the hand.
Or get what Keith has.
Actually, I broke my life-proof case.
What? I thought you couldn't do that.
I didn't break. Oh, the phone's fine.
What are you doing?
All right, it is 9:09 this morning. A new by the time. Cereal is one of the easiest things, but
think about much more than we did.
Or they just go and get coffee every morning, so they just get their breakfast there, and they don't have to think about it.
Well, that's nutritious.
Hey,
but
Tim,
that's kind of what happens.
Tim,
That's kind of what happens.
Cereal floor director Tim?
If I have time to eat cereal, I have time to eat something better than eggs.
If he has, so Tim is making eggs. You don't make. You roll out of bed and come here to work. I don't know what you're talking about.
He says if he has time to eat cereal, he has time to
make eggs.
No, that takes way more time.
Yeah.
Maybe he eats raw eggs. I don't know. And then you got to wash a glass. All right,
yeah, you think you have dishes with cereal.
Even if you get a cereal bar, you still have to open up the wrapper and so much work.
She's calling out. I like that. It is 9:11 this morning. American Idol is heading into the final 10.
A handful of talent.
We'll talk about that right after the break. Let's repeat.
I can do that. I'm going to miss that song.
We've been listening to it for...
Ever. 15 years?
Yeah, 15 years. Last season.
I'm going to incorporate it into my weather on the 9s.
You do that.
No, someone will stop me, I'm sure. We'll find out tonight, though, which singers are going to make it into the American Idol Top 10.
4 contestants advanced without singing last night, leaving 10 others to battle it out for the 6 remaining spots. Joining us to talk about who is going through, along with some bedazzled eyebrows. Give her a second look next week. Let's talk about Genevieve. Genevieve, that's her name. Genevieve. She's been the big talker all season. The judges love her. Harry Connick Jr. loves her. But do viewers? Let's take a look at her performance last night. Didn't like it at all. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
No.
Genevieve.
She's the Sanjaya of this season.
Yeah, she's off the grid girl.
No, she's just got that. We all look and go, what?
What? I don't get it.
Keeps on going. All right, Jen had people talking last night, too, but not for her songs. Oh, my. Her eyebrows. She, of course, sang Cyndi Lauper's True Colors. Take a listen.
He's 97, and Kaya from Chris Carr and Company on K102. So thanks to them for joining us.
And don't miss tonight's American Idol. That's at 7 o'clock right here on Fox 9. Well, travelers are now learning how to save lives while waiting for a flight. You got some time? Might as well. More on a new American Heart Association initiative.
Plus, a threat to the founders of two.
Good morning. Welcome back here on The Buzz at 9:25. Let's begin our lightning round. ISIS is now threatening this morning the CEO. That's awesome.
Yeah, wow, that's a big gift. Yeah. A lot of extra money around.
Yeah.
But he's sharing it. That's great. 9:27. Now, it is a neighborhood full of great shopping. Later, Allison Kaplan is sharing some of her favorite stops in the Bryn Mawr neighborhood of Minneapolis.
First, though,
Welcome back to The Buzz on our Thursday morning. I was going to say a woman is weighing for us this morning.
I feel like I wanted you to sing those lyrics just for fun.
I feel like a woman.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I've noticed a trend recently in women kind of banding together, whether it's Taylor Swift's famous Grammy speech or her helping singer Kesh. What you need to do is just contact me on Facebook, on my Facebook page, or on Twitter with the hashtag Fox 9 Sisterhood. You're now a member, and you can just do it by logging on, tuning in, and just passing along, your sisterhood stories. I have a feeling there will be a lot of them out there. So we're just getting this started today, and I'll have another story next week about a woman who owns a local. It's called Studio Timeout, and what she's doing is she's just sharing a wealth of information about women and health, and so we'll bring that to you next Thursday.
Always fun.
So many stories out there.
Yeah.
Cool, Alex. All right, so don't come unless you have your potty pants on.
Yeah, Disney on Ice is now at the Target Center with Let's Celebrate.
From princesses to heroes, Emma Roscoe has a preview of the show that features a lot of your favorite characters. The crescendo.
Exactly, that's what you want to do. Blue sky and sunshine. There's been way too much singing on the show today.
I know, there's a lot of singing, also during the commercial breaks. Well, tomorrow, MA takes us live to the one and only Home and Garden Show. It's not a harm show. Home and Garden Show at the Minneapolis Convention Center.
Yeah, now let's zip over to Kelly. Okay. On the theater side, we're still a week away from it, and I can't really review it officially yet. I have to wait until next week, but saw Zootopia last, and we'll have more on that next week or maybe even the early part of the week after.
Yeah, you have a big smile on your face.
Yeah,
so we'll just
that's a really cute trailer.
That.
Really cute. You pointed it out to us a couple weeks ago.
Whereas Good Dinosaur was a Disney Pixar movie, that Zootopia is a Disney Pixar movie that will gladly be welcomed back into my home.
Oh.
All right.
Just saying. I'll have more later.
All right, The Buzz is coming right back, so stay.
Welcome back. 9:55. Sha-la-la-la.
Friday.
That's all right. It's a kind of a sha-la-la,
Sha-la-la-la.
Something along
kicking
those
back
lines.
kind of day.
It is.
All too often we hear about people finding disturbing things in their food.
Yeah, it's gross. But what if you were to bite into something that could be worth hundreds of dollars? And she didn't just spit it out and throw it away.
Pull the tooth out and hang that on a necklace as well.
So, that's got to.
Have sunshine out there, and again, near record or maybe